What's up, guys? Dinofries here, and I like card games. And so I played this little game called Inscriptions. And what I discovered was a really fun card game with some not so fun puzzles. So let's get into it. Before you go on, I just want to let you know that there will be no spoilers in this video. I know in the past I have showed spoilers, assuming that people who watch this video have already played the game, but like in a way, like what's the point of giving a review to just for people who've played the game already? Like I want people who haven't played whatever game I'm covering to watch the video and make their decision from that. And so I promise no spoilers in this review. I'm just gonna show pictures from the first part of the game, which is like in the trailers and stuff like that, so no spoilers. Okay, so right off the bat, before we get into the thick of it, so I just want to let you know, Inscryption is like a 3-part game. I mentioned before, like I would show stuff from the first part, and so there's 3 parts, and I just wanted to put this out there. So like first part was fun, and then the second part I kind of hated actually, and then the third part I liked a lot. I would say I even loved the third part, and overall the game took me about 15 hours to beat. So basically the first part, again, this isn't a spoiler because it's in the trailers and screenshots for that. So like you're in a cabin basically, and it's like an escape room in a way, but you have to like play this card game to progress. You want to get out of the cabin essentially. And then the second part, again, no spoilers. I keep saying that because I just want to let you know. I don't want to wrong you guys. It's a lot different. I would say it's like niche and quirky, and I personally could see why people would enjoy what the second part is all about, but I thought it was so boring. I wanted to get past it, through it. It almost made me stop playing the game, because you play the first part and you're like, oh, the game's over, and then you're like, wait, the second part's here, and I hated it. I hated it, but I trucked through it. And then I got to the third part, and the third part is more like the first part, except like kind of like even better. And so it was worth it for me to get to the third part. And then, well, let me talk about the game more now, okay? All right, so gameplay. So again, the game is like half card game, half puzzles. And the card game itself, it's like, I mean, I only really have Hearthstone, I guess, to compare it to. I've also played like Slay the Spire. I've played other card games. I play like, you know, the Yu-Gi-Oh card game, Pokemon card game online, things like that. But I've mostly have experience with Hearthstone. And so I guess I would say it's a Hearthstone, but with like way less options and mechanics. It's simple. I mean, you trade values. You have attack and health power on your cards, and you have effects, and your cards can have like, I think 2, maybe even 3 effects on them. So like fly in, so you like attack above and you attack their hit counter directly, and there's a hit counter like in Yu-Gi-Oh, but it's cool. It's like a balancing, like what's the justice system use, you know, like the balancing thing. So like you got to put theirs all the way, but if they hit you back, then yours goes that way, or it's back and forth until you get one, or either you die or they die when your dish hits the floor. And again, yeah, there's effects, which pretty much are like simple, like, you know, like spiky, so like they attack your card and they take 1 damage, or there's a shield, and there's like 5 places on the board, so you place them out, you sacrifice. They're all animals, these cards, so you sacrifice an animal to play a card, kind of like Yu-Gi-Oh. And it's cool because like the game is also a roguelite, so you're playing the card game, you're on this like map, and like if you beat them, if you play a card game, you beat your opponent, you move forward and you collect things along the way, like cards, but you can also like sacrifice a card to like put their effects into another card. You could put 2 of the same cards together. You can add more HP or attack to a card. You pick up totems that put an effect to every single kind of that species of animals. And there's like there's like a handful of species of animals that you'll play. It's simple at first, which is good because you jump in and you're like, okay, this is easy, I can understand this. And then it gets more thrilling as you go along. And I really liked building a deck that was like OP in a way. The game, like, they kind of encourage you to build an OP deck, and I had a lot of fun building my deck and playing my card games. I mean, if you like card games, like, you're gonna like this. You know, like, this is, in my opinion, this is why I wanted to play. But unfortunately, there's also the puzzle half of the game. I hated them. I hated the puzzles. At first, I was like, okay, like, that's interesting, that's unique, like, and then, like, I did one and I was like, I hope there's not too many, but it's kind of like half the game. I guess there's probably more time that you're in the card game than you are trying to figure out the puzzles. But I didn't like the puzzles at all. I understand why people would like them, I do, but I was not amused. I didn't do any of, like, the optional ones. I just did the necessary ones just to progress the game so I can get back to playing the cards. Now, storyline, it's intriguing, it's spooky, there's plot twists, but I don't think it's that good. Again, like, I've like looked through reviews of this game and people are like, yo, like, the story, but I'm like I appreciate what they were trying to do, and it's not bad. I just wasn't wowed. I was kind of like, okay, like, yeah, that's new. Yeah, all right. I don't know. They're like an amazing story for a video game, like, makes your jaw drop, you know? Like, this was like, it got me, but, like, my jaw wasn't dropped. Like, I wasn't thinking about it after beating the game. And I feel like a really good video game, any story in any piece of media, like, it keeps you thinking, like, you're thinking about this and you want to tell people about it. This didn't do that for me. Music wise, not really much to comment on the music. I mean, it was fine, it did its purpose, you know. It was like ambient in a way. Some of the card game interactions had pretty fun music, but the graphics, I will say, I really liked the graphics. I really liked the graphics, except for the second part. The graphics were they were good. They were crisp. They were like, they did their job very well. I especially liked the atmosphere. Again, like, the puzzle atmosphere, it was fine, but, like, the card game atmosphere sometimes, like, with this, like, the boss battles and stuff like that, just like the way the lighting and the colors they use really came together nicely. I really like the presentation of this game. Also, like, I just want to let you know, like, the description of this game, like, they say, like, it's a psychological horror, and it's not a horror. it's not scary. I mean, I am such a bitch when it comes to horror games, and I was not scared at all. So if you're not prone to scary like I am, you'll be fine. Don't worry, you'll be totally fine if you decide to play this game. All right, to summarize, if you like digital card games like I do, I think if you can push past the puzzles, you will enjoy this game, and you should give it a shot. But I just want to, again, state, the puzzles are annoying, or they can be. I guess if that, maybe you like the puzzles and you like them both and you love the game. But I just felt like the fun part of the game for me was the card game, and the puzzles they're a mandatory puzzle, like, you have to get through them, and I wasn't about it. I might get heat for this review in general, just because I know, like, it again, very good reviews online, and I feel like people did enjoy the puzzles and did like how unique it was, and they liked the story and stuff. And again, I appreciate the uniqueness of this game and what they were trying to do. I just didn't think it meshed well. But again, the card game itself was very, very fun, and I did enjoy that part of it. And to me, it was worth it to push past the puzzles and the wonky story just to get back into playing some cards. And yeah, so I mean, again, if you can get past that, or maybe you want to give it a try and maybe you like the puzzles. Also, like it for me, like everything included, like the puzzles, the story, whatever I had to do. If they omitted the second part of the game, for me, I would have gave this a much more favorable review, just because of how much I disliked the second part. Like if it was just the first part, if it was a 2-part game, like it was the first part and then the second part, and they just like kind of like put elements of the second part to explain the game and the story better in the first or second part, like whatever, I would have like really liked this game. I wouldn't have felt like it dragged on longer than it should. But that's my review. I hope I was spoiler free, or at least spoiler free enough for not spoil anything, and that I helped you decide whether or not you would like to purchase Inscryption. Yeah, if you enjoyed this video, leave a comment, leave a like, subscribe if you haven't already. And yeah, this was dinofries with Inscryption review. Hope you guys have a great day, and yeah, that's it. Peace out.